Set.
There we
Ethan, so
go.
good to see you. How are you? Greetings from Toronto.
Oh, hi. I just worked there. How
Did
is
you
Toronto?
what did you just shoot?
I did a TV show for Amazon that I've been told extensively I'm not allowed to talk about, but I can say I was working in Toronto. They can't stop me from doing that.
Well, there you go. I won't tell. I promise. I
Yeah.
promise.
I
Well,
was
listen.
there. I was
Yeah.
there and it was snowing into April.
Yeah, we had a pretty bad winter in terms of that. Yeah, not a good time to come. Like you really need to manipulate your schedule so that you're shooting here in the beautiful summertime.
Yeah, I bet it's amazing now.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
I
it's
don't love
gorgeous.
the snow. Yeah, but it's
Yeah, yeah.
I kept driving by that lake thinking, God, I bet that's a really nice lake sometimes of the year.
It is. It is. So we'll have to get you back in good weather for sure. But listen, I'm
Yeah.
glad you're working. Working. You never stop. When did you ever get to sleep? Seriously.
I've got four daughters, I've got a granddaughter, and with work, I don't sleep a lot. I really don't. But you know what? Strangely, uh, the last time I worked in Toronto was a very, very long time ago, and it was with Nick Cassavetes. I think it was still the 90s then.
Yeah.
But we shot a movie in Toronto. So I
Well,
have
John,
seen it in nice weather too, but it's
yes.
been a while.
Well, good segue, because I was gonna start there because I wanted to ask you, look, it has been over just over 20 years since you worked with Nick, John
No,
Q.
we
Wait,
did we did another movie called Yellow,
oh,
which
okay.
which you know is John Q's a good movie. I'm not knocking John Q, but
Yeah,
like Nick wants to. That was a commercial movie for Nick,
yeah,
and
of
he's
course.
done some commercial movies, and he makes really good commercial movies. But I think in his heart,
Mm,
he wants to make gritty, um I guess grittier movies than the commercial movies. And so what I think God is the Bullet,
yeah.
plays to his sensibility a little bit more. Not the subject matter necessarily, but the grittiness.
100%. I mean, it is, I'm not going to lie, this was a tough one to watch. Like, I got
Sure.
through it, I did, but my God, even like just being a parent,
Yeah.
all those elements that, like just made me like, really got me. And like, yes, it being more of an independent, but my God, the cast is freaking awesome in this. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to know, how you kind of got involved because did Nick, obviously you've been in touch, your buddies, did he just think of you as like this guy who would be perfect to be in a cult? I mean, seriously?
Yeah, pretty much. And he thought of me 10 years ago, or even a little bit more than that. And Nick is one of my best friends,
Yeah.
and I've known him since even before John Q. He wrote Blow, so I
Yeah.
knew him from then, and he was very close with Ted Demme, and that's really where I met him. And then we were gonna do a movie together called Going After Cacciato, also based on a book, but that never happened. And then I did John Q with him, and I
Mm-hmm.
did Yellow, and so we are. And by the way, there were years where Nick and I went to the gym together every day. Like we're very close friends. And he was
Yeah.
telling me about God is a Bullet a long time ago, and like I got this part, and you know, I I trust Nick, and if he says we're going to do something, I believe that we're going to do something. But I also know how hard it is to get a movie made, so I'm not sitting there waiting like, when are we shooting this movie?
Right.
Well, I'll know we're shooting the movie when I show up on set and we're shooting the movie, and I pretty much am not sitting and thinking about it like that. And so when we were actually going to shoot the movie, I was a little bit surprised, and I'll tell you why. It's it's gritty. It has an indie feel, but it's a $40 million movie.
Wow.
It's not a $2 million indie movie. It's
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
got it's got a legit budget. And I don't think a lot of people are spending that kind of money on, first of all, R-rated movies, and
Yeah,
second
yeah.
of all, where somebody who has a very strong sense of integrity and isn't going to compromise.
Yeah.
Nick's
Yeah.
not going to compromise. Nick is going to make the movie he sets out to make, and
Yeah.
he did. And that's not always easy to get something like this made, and so it's amazing that he did.
Right. And this character that you play, I mean, he's part of this terrible, terrible cult. Do you ask you, I mean, you don't always play fun-loving characters. You mix it up. There's no question about it. To justify in your mind that what this character's doing is right. Like, do you ever go there?
I have to do that. I have had to do that with nearly every other character I've played who wasn't fun loving. So Seth in American History X,
Ugh.
he's deplorable, he's awful, he's all of his values and morals are completely the antithesis of what I value and what my morals say are true and
Yeah.
correct. However, he's still a human being. I don't want to, even though there are some cartoonish aspects of him, I want to play a human being because guess what? There are human beings out there like that. And if you make them too unbelievable, it does a disservice to the message that you're trying to get out there, that there are people that think this way, right?
Right.
And so I think it's important to maintain a level of humanity with most characters. Now, with this guy Gutter, his sole drive is to be evil. So
Right.
I think Seth in American History X, because that's the most, you know, bad, quote unquote, bad guy I've played.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think he's walking around going, I'm evil. I think he's walking around going, I'm right.
For sure. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think Gutter, on the other hand, is walking around going, I'm evil. I want to
Yeah.
be as evil as possible. So in that sense, it's almost easier to strip the humanity. You know, trying to pump some humanity into him would have been a harder job, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I agree with you 100%. We have to talk about this cast because you know who always just completely blows me away is Micah
Jonathan
Monroe.
Tucker.
I
Oh,
mean,
Micah Monroe. Yes,
Micah.
she's
I mean,
awesome.
everybody's great. Nicola, all of you guys. Okay. I mean, Jamie Foxx is Jamie Foxx, you know, whatever. Micah, man, I've been interviewing her since like day one when she's just started in these indie films. And she's just like unbelievable. Really, what she put
She's
up
a
with.
damn good actress. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
I when Nick I didn't know her. I didn't know her at all personally, but I wasn't super familiar with her work. And Nick said her name, and I watched a movie, and I thought she was like a little bit too wholesome. Like that was
mm,
my perception of her. And it's probably just the movie I watched. I'm sure she's not so wholesome in other movies,
yeah.
but then when I had a scene with her, I was like, holy shit, she's a different person than I saw. She's
Yeah.
even a different person than the person like you have dinner with at the hotel, you know,
Right.
like
Right.
you put that makeup on her, she gets into character, and it's a switch has been flipped, and she becomes Case,
Yeah.
and it was really, really spectacular to watch.
Yeah, it really, it just blew my mind, like everybody in this. And again, I mean, I have to mention Jamie because I know he's been sick. Have you been in touch? Like, is he okay? Do we know what's going on there with him?
I'm very, very close friends with his manager who tells me he's doing great,
Oh,
but
good.
I haven't spoken to him, and I don't know
Yeah.
more than, you know,
Yeah.
I read in the papers that he's great. I ask his manager says yes, he's great, and so
Good.
that's
Well,
as
we wish
much
him
as
a
I know.
speedy recovery because again, he's also so always good. He's great in this as well. Not a huge part, but yeah, impactful, no question. Just just before we wrap, I mean, you like I said, you're a nonstop guy. I've been such a big fan of yours for so many years. When you look back at the beginning of the career, I guess would you say you have kind of Kevin Smith to thank for your career in a way? In a
Sure.
way,
Yeah. I mean, movies. I was on a TV series called Boy Meets World
yes,
before I worked with Kevin, and then we did Mallrats together, which was a total failure
yeah,
at
but
first.
cult
But
hit. Come on,
yes, but
yeah,
then it grew to be like one of the things that people talk to me about still to this day. It's nearly 30 years old. I think it's
right, yeah,
29 years old this year.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, I mean that's an important movie that I was in. I you know, people will walk up to me on I had the other day, I was walking into a movie just in my life, and a guy walked up to me and started reciting lines, screaming my lines from that movie at me.
wow,
And I was like, this is impressive. That's a
yeah,
30-year-old movie. And
yeah.
it meant enough to him for him to the guy had my lines memorized. So
Amazing.
yeah, that's meaningful.
Yeah, it really is. Like you made a huge impact on the TV and film world. So I thank you. I love watching you, and congratulations on your extraordinary weight loss. My God, you look phenomenal, and try, it just shows like your passion and you're committed. It's amazing. Amazing.
Thank you, Bonnie. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, listen, I appreciate you chatting with me today. Good luck with the film. Like I said, you're welcome back to Toronto in the good weather, and
Yeah, I
we'll
can't
we'll
wait.
go for a coffee. Okay, how's that?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, then take care. Lovely chatting with you
See
today.
ya.
Thank
You
you.
too.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.